Ladies and gentlemen, so TV Line Scoop dated the 9th of August had a couple of bits on Arrow Season 6. Now if you remember, and most if not all of you probably do, we got to see Smoak Technologies Tower on the 2046 episode of Season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. That was the very same episode in which we met an older version of Oliver Queen and a Connor Hawk John Diggle Jr. Green Arrow. Well, Smoak Technologies will come into existence come Season 6, but with a little bit of a twist. According to Mark Guggenheim, they were actually planning to pursue that arc on Season 5, but instead preferred the Helix arc over it. According to him as well, those who want to see that kind of storyline will actually be happy come the 6th season of the show. However though, here's the twist. Mark Guggenheim's final statement on the subject was, and I quote, "But for reasons that I think will be very obvious, it can be called Smoak Technologies." And all those clever readers who are like, that's because she'll be changing her last name to Queen. It's not Queen Technologies either. Now all the way through and since the 5th season ended, every single indication hints towards Felicity being alive come the 6th season of Arrow. Wendy Miracle has teased that Felicity will be part of an upcoming Helix arc. Emily Beth Ricards attended the Comic-Con Arrow panel, even though that's no real indication of anything. They did that with Katie Lotz 2 years ago and then ended killing her off on the premiere of the season that came right after. That was the 3rd season. What really gets me here though is that we already know both Wild Dog and Dinah Drake will be dying, given how the actor and actress portraying the roles were bumped up to series regulars. We know as well that Slade will survive the explosions on Lianu because he's right there in the trailer and it has already been teased. He'll be part of a 2-episode arc during the first half of the season with flashbacks of his earlier life. And so far it's also been teased that Diggle will be alive and Felicity will be alive. It's also been teased that Black Siren will have a relationship and development with Quentin Lance that could possibly lead to her redemption. And in order for that to happen, Quentin Lance needs to stay alive, which leaves us with Nyssa, Samantha, and Curtis. Now we would definitely hate to see Nyssa die, but she's barely in the series anymore, not as much as she used to be on the 2nd and 3rd seasons at least. On the other hand, when it comes to Samantha, we don't really know her, so her death would only be feeding into the Oliver becoming a father arc. That leaves us with Curtis and also begs the question, why the hell give us this epic cliffhanger if you're going to ruin it before the new season airs, while still promising a reveal then of who actually died and who survived. Unless of course all these statements, all these announcements are just being made to throw us off and make us think one thing while something totally different would actually be happening when the show returns. That would also fit with Smoak Technologies not being named Smoak Technologies. There are no obvious reasons as Mark Guggenheim described them, other than her being dead and it is all to commemorate her, or her being Mrs. Oliver Queen, or her having a partner who just rejects putting either of their names on that magnificent building. But moving on, within that very same scoop, it seems it has been confirmed Oliver will be assisting Slade in finding his long-lost son, Joe Wilson. The show is currently in search for an Australian actor to fill in a guest starring role as someone who's been described as an introverted, moody, and naturally athletic teenager. Now Joe Wilson is pretty much a toss-up when it comes to which side he would be on, that being the side of good versus the side of evil. I've already discussed this on a previous video, so I'm not going to go into depth here, but suffice to say, we could either be watching a version of the Teen Titan Jericho or the mercenary Enemy of the Titans version. What I'm almost certain they're not going to be doing on the show though is introduce him with superpowers, not after what happened with Damien Darhk. When it comes to personal predictions though, I think Joe Wilson will be one of the villainous cabal that Mark Guggenheim promised during Comic-Con Oliver is going to have to deal with. Now I know it does seem like Deathstroke is getting a redemption arc as we met him as Season 5 was coming to an end. However, the thing here is, Stephen Amell stated during Comic-Con that Deathstroke is his Joker, that the Green Arrow is as good as Deathstroke is formidable. A statement that makes you wonder if Slade is destined to stay good all the way. And if not, then what better way than having him pitted against Oliver out of defense of an evil son that he wouldn't want to lose once he's found him. But on a completely different note, one of the characters that has not been seen in a while might be back for Season 6, that being Helena Bertinelli, aka the Huntress. Now if I remember correctly, last time we saw her was in Season 2 when she was wreaking havoc all over Star City before she got arrested. Now on the subject, Mark Guggenheim has stated, and I quote, "Every season we talk about it, Jessica is a favorite actor of mine, and the Huntress is a favorite character of mine, so I want to make it happen in Season 6. We've got some plans for the later half of the year that I think she would fit into very well, so we'll see. Jessica is an incredibly talented actress who works a lot, so our schedule and her schedule have to align. Now personally, I love the character and I believe her return would be a great addition to the show. After all, the first and second seasons were two of Arrow's best before the show started slowly going downhill, hitting rock bottom on Season 4, and a big part of the greatness of those two seasons was attributable to the great roster of characters they had to their name. But before I end this video, here's one final thing I'd like to mention. I'm still a strong believer Michael Emerson will probably be portraying Caden James on Season 6. While a lot of people link Guggenheim's announcement of Emerson joining the show to the announcement he made right before it about Richard Dragon, I don't think they're remotely connected. Emerson just does not have the build for the character of Richard Dragon. He's more suited to play a character like that of Caden James, one where his brains and ability to play mind games are his villainous capabilities. Of course, the theory out there that he might be portraying onomatopoeia does not really make all that much sense as well. But with that being said, do let me know in the comments what you think of the news on Jericho, Smoak and the Huntress. Let me know as well why you think Smoak will not bear the Smoak name, and what you think Guggenheim meant by the obvious reason. Finally, you could let me know if you do agree or do not agree with me on the idea that Michael Emerson will be portraying Caden James on the show, and if not, let me know who you think he'll be portraying. Now if you did like this video, and I hope you did, make sure you slap it a much appreciated like, and while you're at it, remember to subscribe and enable notifications. And until I see you next time, thank you all for watching, and have a perfect day.